So we'll see how it goes. Ask everyone to join me in a flag salute, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And can I ask the clerk to please call the roll?
Mr. Meehan,
Here.
Mr. Wakilsky,
Here.
Ms. Casconi,
Here.
Ms. Venezia,
Here.
Mr. Balin,
Here.
Ms. Maisy,
Here.
Ms. Lopez.
Just be right back, I think.
okay. Mr. Weissman,
Here.
Mayor Lynch is absent, Mr. Semrau is absent, Mr. Pasternak,
Here.
Mr. Henry,
Here.
Ms. Bondswich is here, and
Yep.
Ms. Lopez is here.
All right, this meeting is being held in person and live streamed via Zoom. The public is invited to attend in person or view the meeting by following the link in the agenda or by calling into the phone number listed in the agenda. Public comments are welcome in person or by submitting written comments to the town clerk, which will be distributed to members of the governing body, which although not required by law to be read at a meeting, may be summarized or read in their entirety during the public portion of the meeting. Written comments may be submitted via email with the subject line public comment with all the details in the agenda. All written comments must include the name, address, and phone number. Email comments must be received at least 8 hours prior to the meeting. This is the mayor's statement, which as the council president in the absence of the mayor today, I will read. Notice of this meeting is being provided through resolution adopted by the mayor and council on December 15th, 2025 at its regular meeting of the mayor and town council at the Boonton Town Hall, 100 Washington Street, Boonton, New Jersey, and by electronic mailing to the citizen of Morris County and the Daily Record newspapers through posting on the town website and filing a copy of same with the town clerk. Members of the public were also permitted to submit written comments prior to the meeting via mail or email, which may be summarized or read in their entirety during the public comment period. All public comments, whether during the public portion of the meeting or submitted beforehand, should be limited to no greater than 3 minutes in duration. And I now will turn it over for administrator and committee reports. We'll start with our administrator, Mr. Neil Henry.
Thank you, Council President. Highlights from the Administrator's Office for the time period of March 17th through today, which are not on your agenda this evening, are as follows. Interviewed the administration along with the search committee, participated in lengthy interviews of candidates for the position of town administrator. This process is ongoing. We did commence spring 2026 performance reviews. I also reviewed proposals from those vendors who submitted proposals for water engineering services. 2 additional engineering firms have been selected, and we are in the process of setting up interviews with each one of those. I did participate in a pre-construction meeting with the vendor who we have contracted with to implement our new water meters. There's still some logistical planning that needs to be done from a billing perspective, but if all holds together as planned, new water meters will be installed by the midsummer. More details to follow as that project unfolds. Property inspections continue as they relate to the town-wide reassessment program. And last but not least, the town of Boonton is holding a public information center meeting to inform residents, officials, and the community on the historic Main Street revitalization phase 1, or otherwise known as the TAP grant project. Members of the public are encouraged to participate by providing comments at the meeting by mail or email. A presentation is available on the town's website. The engineer design firm GPI will be here on 4/20 to present at that council meeting virtually. And there will be an open house style public information center here at Town Hall the next night, April 21st from 4 to 7 p.m. Community outreach is a vital part of the project. The administration encourages all to provide your input on the proposed improvements at the meeting or to Boonton's Special Projects Coordinator, Laura Wagner, via email or mail. Those contact points can be found on our website. You're asked to please provide your comments no later than May 19th, 2026 to be included in the project record. And that completes my report this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Any comments or questions? Just one for me. I wonder if you could give us an update on the chairlift for outside town hall that I know has been in the works.
So I was told late last year that the chair had been ordered. Okay, Mr. Ezzy had assured me that that chair had been ordered. And I reported back to this board on the public record that it had been reordered. I had Joan Santucci, the DPW admin, check on it probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. They did not have the order. Okay, they had a check for $18,000 that they had cashed. Apparently there was an agreement done with the company that the $18,000 would be issued before chairlift could be ordered. They did cash the check. We did track down the company representative out of Colwell. He was here a week, 10 days ago. He had been trying to get a hold of us through Mr. Ezzy for the balance of the year to come out and let us know that the door had to be resized, okay, to accommodate the new lift. He was calling Bob and not getting any phone calls back, and we weren't advised that he was trying to call Bob. So the long and the short of that is we're back on track. Unfortunately, it probably won't be until July or August when that is finally installed.
Thank you for the update. I appreciate it. Any other comments or questions for Mr. Henry? Okay, Economic Development Special Projects, Councilmember Meehan.
Thank you, Council Weissman. We met on March 26th. One of the first items we went over was the TAP grant progress. Administrator Henry actually went over the details, but just as a quick reminder, there'll be a presentation at the next town council meeting, which is April 20th. The following day will be an open forum, the PIC it's called, public information, where people can come and actually see it in person if they didn't get to see it the night before and ask questions. So encourage everybody to come out. This is exactly what the TAP grant is going to be for Main Street, how we're going to be redesigning sidewalks, bump outs, repaving, new lights. So if you have any concerns, questions, I strongly recommend you come out and get your opinions heard. We also spoke about the Highlands grant, trying to get some progress there. We did agree on 3 projects that we're going to focus on as a town, which is going to be the DPW consolidation, possible relocation, the Darris Theater, and the Trails program. So with the Highlands grant money, that's the projects that we're going to be focusing on. See if we can get some progress there. We went over some of the other grants, the NPP. Laura's meeting with some of the property owners, get some headway there. We're going to start working on a community garden. We're putting aside some money there to see if we can get that started. We're going to start small and grow from there. So that's looking good. Some other projects, we got the Boonton Ave parking lot that was completed. We're waiting for the weather to get warm to start down Upper Plain Street parking. Pickleball courts, we had to wait for the ground to thaw. Needs to say, 3 months of 5-degree weather. Takes a little while for that to thaw out. So a lot of things going on. The Darris Theater, I know everyone's going to be asking about that. There's still a couple more meetings going on to get some additional information between Laura and the councilman and council members, the mayor. We anticipate, in the not too distant future, giving the town a complete update as to where we stand with our progress there. That's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Mr. Meehan?
I just have one, council member Meehan. So the community garden, where are we planning on putting that?
Right now, there's a lot that we have up next to Pepe Field. It's almost right next to a parking lot. There's water there that we can get from the town. We're going to confirm there's no issues with the soil, and we're going to start building something there. Splash Park was going to go where the basketball court was, but
That's
That
I
didn't
know,
happen.
that's a dead issue.
Thank you for that.
you're welcome.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All right. Parking, Councilmember Lopez.
Thank you, council member. So the parking committee is still in discussion on the vendors. It's on.
Yeah.
The parking committee is still in discussion on the vendors. We plan to select for Boonton. And on Friday, March 27th, the committee attended a demo/interview. Was very successful. We interviewed 3 out of the 4 parking vendors. And the committee will be debriefing at our next committee meeting. So hopefully by then we should have a decision on the vendor we will select for Boonton for parking. Any questions, concerns?
I do have one.
Mhm.
Was there any discussion of updating parking times on Main Street in response to the new sticks that we got, the
Oh.
ticket sticks.
We think it was 3 minutes. Yeah, the safety stick, 3 minutes, right? We said that safety sticks would be up to 3 minutes.
So these are the potentially these sticks that would come and help monitor the parking.
Yeah,
I don't think we've settled on what exactly the schedule, the timing will be, but that'll be all part of the public information as soon as we do.
good. I
Yeah.
was, last meeting, we discussed this, the yellow spots, which will be governed by the safety sticks,
Yeah.
are illegal for parking. They're for safety for the sidewalks. However, business owners on Main Street have indicated that the 2-hour parking is for a takeout. There's no option for takeout. And so if I believe this was on the agenda, but if we could, next parking committee meeting, put on the agenda a discussion about re-looking at alternate times so that we have some options for takeout, some 15 or 30-minute spots in addition to the
Okay.
2-hour spots.
Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Just one comment. So I'm on the parking committee as well. I think we did talk about possible 15-minute,
Yes, we did.
right?
Yeah, the idea is to designate certain spots that would be 15-minute sort of pickup, delivery, drop off.
Great, so,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
It
will
does
will
not-
there
oh.
be some adoption of those?
We're heading in that.
Okay,
Yeah,
great,
yeah,
great.
Yeah. Great. Public Works, Councilmember Maisy.
Yes, thank you, council, and board president, Mr. Weissman there. So snow removal, we were talking about that a little bit again. I did have a discussion, with Eric Gore, who was the superintendent of the DPW. And we did talk about some of the bollards that got, kind of ruined, I guess, due to snow removal, or they may have been involved in some type of accident on the corner of Main and Division Street. Those bollards are to protect some of our water lines. So those are being repaired and replaced as we speak. We did talk about Pepe Field refresher, that, the ball field hasn't been used in a couple of years. It was unplayable. So I know that the Department of Public Works is getting a clay delivery to be able to redo the ball field and make that playable by the second week of April was the intent of Eric Gore and the team there at DPW. We did talk about light poles. Some of those light poles are now older, they're not working, or they have come down, or they're rotting. Those poles are no longer available for replacement. So I think in the finance committee, we did mention that we're going to have to rebudget for some light poles. Hopefully next year that'll go into the budget for the park. And the next thing that we did discuss in the DPW was pothole project. So they were doing some cold filling right now in certain areas because it was too cold out to bring out the hot tar. So they're doing what they call cold patch repair. The DPW around town, and then they're going to follow up with some hot patch repair as soon as the weather breaks and it gets warm enough. Road paving schedule, Eric was aware of 5 to 6 roads that may be on this schedule. He wanted to be able to actually see the schedule and learn a little bit more, but some of these roads, one of them was Park Ave Extension, the Union Extension, and the 100 block of Wooten Street. There's also an upper section of Vreeland, Mark Boulevard and Grant Road that he's taken a look at. That's probably going to be repaved very shortly. And then also the DPW renovations in the offices. So I'm proud to say that they finally have the floors installed in the back office. They have the painting that is completed in that back office, and the cubicles were being installed a week ago. Throughout that office. And now they're moving to the entranceway when you walk into the DPW office, and that's being worked on, repainted, and made to look a lot nicer and homier with the cubicles as well. Road striping was another discussion that we had, and there is in the works for Green Street and Wooten to put a crosswalk there, and also to return the crosswalk between Cornelia and Wooten Street. Because the paving, when they did that paving on Wooten, they took away that initial crosswalk. So that is going to be put back into place. Right now, Eric Gore is receiving quotes from companies that are going to do that striping. I just wanted to mention too, town cleanup, April 18th. So if you are available, please sign up. Join us at Grace Lord Park. We're going to have a kickoff at 9 a.m., 9 to 12, and that's the town cleanup. You can pick an assigned area. You can be assigned an area, but please, if you can help us out, that would be wonderful. And that's all I have to say. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Councilmember Macy?
I just want to, the town cleanup is a great event. If you haven't attended it before, it's
fantastic.
good.
I do have one question, and it has to do with the striping.
Mhm.
Because I know we also discussed that in police committee the last time we met. And I just want to make sure that DPW and the police department coordinate to make sure that they've identified, that there's no duplication of effort in any of those crosswalks and any of that striping projects.
Yes, thank you for that comment. And Eric has been in touch with the chief to try and get this done, so there'll be no duplication.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, Board of Health, Councilmember Lopez.
Thank you, Councilmember Wiseman. Okay, so we met March 17th, and one of our hot topics was actually the discussion of the New Jersey vaccine regulation. So New Jersey has transitioned to a state-based immunization guidance system, which will not follow the current CDC recommendations. So there was a new legislation signed by Governor Murphy back in January of 2026, which allowed the New Jersey Department of Health to hold authority to set its own vaccine schedule and requirements. So as a little bit of background, the CDC recently reduced the number of vaccine recommendation in children from 17 to 11, and they actually removed the routine hepatitis A vaccine, hepatitis B, the rotavirus, respiratory S virus, RSV, meningococcal disease B, ACW and Y, influenza, and COVID-19. So the current New Jersey requirements currently include the DTaP, polio, MMRs, hepatitis B, and varicella for students entering 6th grade, ages 11 and up, and must also receive the meninge and Tdap vaccines. The hepatitis B virus continues to be mandated in birth for newborns. So that we're rejecting the current CDC guidelines there. And then children age 6 to 59 months in childcare or preschool must receive an annual flu shot by November 30th. And vaccination against COVID-19 is currently not required for school attendance in New Jersey. There are some exemptions, though. New Jersey will recognize medical and religious exemptions, but will not permit exemptions for philosophical or moral reasons. And our state regulated health insurance will cover all the vaccines that are recommended by New Jersey. Any questions, concerns?
Any questions for Councilmember Lopez? Okay,
you.
thank you. Boonton Main Street, Councilmember Meehan.
Thank you, Board President. We met on Tuesday, March 31st. It was actually my first time meeting in person with the group, and I'll tell you, it's quite an energetic group. A lot of things on the plate, which I find quite exciting, and it's good for the town. We did a recap of the Taste of Boonton, which was a sold-out event. A lot of restaurants in town donated their food. A lot of people came, a lot of good conversation. A fun night was had by all. Last Friday was our first Friday in April, the spring stroll. We got another First Friday coming up May 1st. That's going to be a gallery walk, so all the art galleries in town will be putting something out. Again, the townwide cleanup down at Grace Lord Park is on April 18th. There is also going to be a group meeting at the library. If you want to stop there and do something around Main Street. The Grace Lord Park, the concept behind that is actually cleaning up the Rockaway River. So people will actually start at Grace Lord and work their way down the river, cleaning up all the way down along the river. We don't ask children to do that, but unfortunately, it's actually utterly surprising how much garbage comes out of there. The one year we did it, we counted 35 tires. I mean, ridiculous stuff. But I can say over the years, it's gotten a lot less, which is nice to see. So to everyone else's point up here on the dais, recommend everyone coming out, help keep the town clean. We started planning for a Brew Fest, which is going to be September 19th coming up. The farmer's market, we virtually have that already sold out for vendors. We're just getting a couple more, but that's going to start on May 16th for those of you looking for your fresh goods. We also have some murals going to be coming up in town. We're looking for some locations to put some new murals up down in Grace Lord Park, not Grace Lord, Canal Side Park, going to do one. And I think we got 1 or 2 set for buildings up in town. So a lot going on. Keep an eye out on your website to see activities that are coming your way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Meehan. For the murals, you say looking for locations? still?
Not looking, I don't have the exact address
Okay.
of where they're going to be going.
Okay, but they're good with them. Okay. Any questions for Councilmember?
Have artists been selected?
I think they're taking applications or nominations. I know one of the murals is going to be based around Bootenware. The colors of Bootenware is going to factor into the mural. So I thought that was just a great touch.
Councilmember Beam, are there any themes for the murals, like an overriding theme, or is each artist to pick their own theme for the mural?
It's obviously more towards welcoming to Booten. I know the one in Canal Side Park, that some of the renderings I've seen is going to be more of a nature kind of scape. But beyond that, no, I don't think there's anything specifically been designed. Based upon the murals I've seen up in town, you know, the red, white, and blue and the Dog Days of Summer, I think they're a great addition.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is green theme, Councilmember Casconi.
Thank you, Councilmember Wiseman. Along with the rest of my council members, I would like to also reiterate the townwide cleanup that will be happening on April 18th. Details can be found on the Green Team website, Facebook page, as well as the town website. We also will be holding a townwide garage sale on May 16th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. There is a link to register, and that can also be found on the Green Team Facebook page, and I believe also the town website. So we encourage everybody to sign up for the townwide garage sale. We know that it's had great success previously. We are doing it a little bit earlier this year. I understand last year was done over the summer. We're hoping that a spring one will bring even more people to the town and be able to have more attendees from the town. And nothing new. We haven't met yet for April. So
Thank you very much. Any comments or questions? Okay. Historic preservation, Councilmember Bale, I'm interested to see how you'll work the townwide cleanup into that
Yeah.
report.
Thank you. We, Historic Preservation Commission met April 1st. 2 applications were reviewed for signage for 921 Main Street and 508 Main Street. There was one issue with a blade sign, proposed blade sign being beneath the required minimum, but otherwise both applications were approved.
What was that second, 921 and?
508.
Any questions for Councilmember Balen? Okay. Housing Authority, Councilmember DiVinizio.
So the Housing Authority met on March 25th. I was unable to attend that meeting. However, I did follow up with Sherry and discuss the agenda items that were on that agenda. There is nothing out of the ordinary to note except for the one question that she had for Mr. Henry, which he is going to follow up on the hole in the playground area, I guess it is. Also, I did question her. It seems as if there have been several stuck elevator calls at the Housing Authority on Plain Street in the last month and a half or so. And so I just wanted to find out if there was any underlying mechanical issue. And it seems as in each case, it was something unique to that incident. So there's no underlying problem with the elevators. And that is my report.
Good to know. Thank you. Any comments or questions for Councilmember DiVinizio? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to correspondence. I think I'll skip the first one. Yeah. The first one is a letter from Town Administrator Neil Henry. As a point of order, should I be reading these letters? I can summarize. Okay. So this is a letter from Town Administrator Neil Henry to the mayor and members of the council, as required by his employment contract, accepting the correspondence as official 90-day notice of retirement as town administrator effective June 30th, 2026. You referenced that it's bittersweet. It's certainly, I think, mostly bitter for us. So
Miss you all.
we'll wish you a lot of luck. Reluctantly, and see who really wants to do this, but ask
You're
for,
welcome back anytime.
that's right.
Careful what you wish for.
We'll see on day 91. We'll see how we're feeling. Can I get a motion to accept this letter regrettably? In a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and thank you. Yeah. Leave the shoes.
Side.
Yep. Not sure what we'll do with those, but sure. Next is an email from Boonton Main Street Executive Director Natalie Spingold regarding request to close Main Street for the June and October 1st Fridays, looking for our approval and knowing that she and the team will take all and any steps necessary, including reach out to the county and police departments. These dates are June 5th and October 2nd from about 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Can I get a motion to open this up for discussion?
So moved, Evenesia.
Second,
Seconded Casconi.
any comments from the council?
Just one question,
Yeah.
maybe, is this, the cost of this still covered by NPP? Are we still under,
You don't
Neil, do you know?
I do not know.
Okay,
when to get
okay.
the
Let's
answer.
get
Okay.
the answer for that. I think the requirements, if you vote yes, it means you also have to come on June 5th and October 2nd. So can I get a motion to approve this letter?
So moved, Balin.
A second?
Seconded, Maisie.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll see everyone on June 5th and October 2nd, but May 1st first for the gallery walk. The next letter is from our Parks and Rec Director, Tracy Pryor, regarding Main Street closure on Sunday, September 27th from noon to 4 for Booten Day. And this would be from, and also closing between West Main and Highland Avenue, as well as Main Street and Booten Avenue intersection to Birch Street between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. We're set up in disassembly. And noting that Ms. Pryor has already requested the necessary approvals for the Morris County Board of County Commissioners and is waiting approval. Can I get a motion to open this up for discussion?
So moved Casconi.
Second, I got in there first, so we'll give you
Okay. I'll go.
Danielle the second. Any comments, questions on this one? Okay, can I get a motion to approve this request?
So moved, Evenesia.
Second,
Balin.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Another letter from, a lot of letters today from Ms. Pryor regarding I love this event so much. The West Main Street closure for the Trick or Treat Trail on October 17th, 2026, with a rain date of October 18th between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Requesting permission to close West Main Street between Essex and Highland Avenue for safety precautions. And again, noting that she's already requested the necessary approvals for the Morris County Board of County Commissioners. Can I get a motion to open up this one for discussion?
So moved, Maisie.
And a second?
Megan.
Any discussion?
It's going around today.
Okay, a motion to approve this request.
So moved, Evenesia.
A second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. So excited.
I grew up.
One of my favorite events. Okay, oh, good. And we're up to our CFO, Mr. Yazdi, to make a presentation on the 2026 municipal budget. And I will hand it over to you, sir.
One moment for setup here.
Yep, no problem.
No, I'll be able there first. I just need you to step through. But it takes some effort to. This.
And this is a perfect time for everyone here watching to take out your calendars and put those dates of all those things we just approved into your calendars.
This.
I saw no one move. Okay, go.
I'll fix this out.
Already there. Okay, good. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, I guess I do, don't I? All right, so we, as you note from the agenda, the meeting started with a closed session. There's nothing that came out of it for council discussion or approval tonight. Thank you.
You can just hit the right arrow.
When you told me to hit it.
Yeah, I'll just say one. Is on? Yep. Great. All right, good evening, council members, public from the town of Boonton. We're back again for our annual budget. This process is quite extensive. You know, there's some newer faces here and some who have been on the council for a while, sort of know the process now. It starts, you know, in the fall with lots of internal discussions, lots of review of how things have gone. It seems by the time we get the budget adopted and really get things going, we're planning for next year. So this is sort of a nonstop process, if you will. So for the budget introduction for 2026, that is today, and then we'll be looking to adopt on the meeting of May 4th or 5th. Yeah, whatever the first meeting in May is. So we can move to the next slide here. Some of the members of our budget team, it's our administrator, Neil Henry, and myself, and our auditing firm go through a lot of the technicalities through the budget. And our finance committee is, you know, the main group that works on this document. Mayor Lynch, council members Weissman, Meehan, and Balin. This group has worked on the budget for the past 3 years with the same group, I believe. So we have a good system here, I think, and some pretty good results, in my opinion. One other thing I want to note is we had a meeting last week with some of the other council members, Stevenizia, Mazie, and Cascone. We had a great discussion, lots of great questions from our newer council members. So it's a lot to look forward to in the future. It's very complex. We talked for an hour and a half. I think we could have talked for another 3 hours, you know, but a productive discussion. Next slide, please. This sort of just highlights that timeline. In the fall, we review the, you know, existing budget, where things stand, where we, you know, sort of missed budgeting, and try to make notes throughout the year with each department and say, hey, where do we need to, you know, reallocate some of the funds? There's lots of requests. Not all of them get granted, but we try to focus on what's important. We do some internal meetings with myself and our town administrator, with department heads in the latter portion of the year and early in the following year, and then have many early meetings with our finance committee to sort of hash things out and get to where we need to be. At this stage, we're introducing the budget. At a coming meeting, we'll be looking to introduce some capital ordinances. We usually, in bulk, approve many capital ordinances. That's not part of this process. The budget funds a capital reserve, and then from there, we decide what items we can approve with debt or with cash on hand. So those big ticket items are a separate leg of our budget process. So we'll start with the expenses, also known as our budget appropriations. Overall, if you've seen me go through this spiel a few times, I tried to change things up and refresh our visuals here. At the end of the day, it's the same sort of information and same sort of story. Our salaries and wages and operating expenses, if you open up the budget document, you'll see this on every single page. That's sort of the summarized look at each of the departments' expenses. Sort of how the appropriations break down. On the right side, you'll see two big numbers, 55% and 45%. So employee costs make up over half of our budget at 55% of the costs, including the salaries, employer share taxes, pensions, insurance, all that fun stuff that, you know, taxpayers interface with, but don't always see a, you know, tangible benefit from necessarily. The other side of things is, you know, our debt service and our funding for those different capital projects, the other expenses that departments use to run, garbage collection, things of that nature, and then grants. Part of that grants is funding for a Clean Communities grant, which funds the town cleanup on April 18th. Well, please come out. Figure I throw that in there. We have some other grants that are also we bring in annually. This is things like body armor that the police rely on each year, and plethora of other items. So up 6%, our overall budget going from 16.7 million to 17.7 million. So 6% increase. A little bit more detail on that on our next slide. I know this is going to be hard to see for the public's sake. This will be on our website if you want to look in more detail or look through the budget or talk to me directly. I'm happy to share how the sausage is made with anyone. So our budget is, a lot of items are not within our control. So there's many challenges when we first come in. Our first meeting with the finance committee is hey, where do things stand? Because there's a lot thrown in there. We have a health insurance increase of over 20% for a, now $2 million budget. That's a significant item that we're working against. Pension bill comes in up 9%. The library taxes are a statutory calculation up almost 8%. Our utilities like electric, street lighting, gasoline costs, and natural gas, those are up 6% or so. That also includes waste disposal, 5-year contract. So there's a lot of these items that we already have pre-existing agreements on, we're locked into. Similar to salaries, we have unions for the employees here. We are locked into contracts with them, right? So there's a portion of the budget, which is roughly 14% of the budget, for other expenses that is more in our control. But these are our services that we provide and budgets for those things. So it makes it very challenging for us to strip away different services to come down to a normal tax increase. At the end of the day, we want to provide services for the town, but also stability for taxpayers who, can't keep up with significant rising costs, economically, and we should, try to do our part here to keep things relatively stable. So that gives you a snapshot of, more clean groupings of our expenses and how those have changed. The bottom item there is capital and debt. That item is down 1.5%, only item that's down. So yay to us for that. But there's some good reasoning for that. So if you want to slide to our next slide here, Mr. Henry. So capital and debt is roughly down. We have debt payments to make annually, and as we pay off our debt, less principal balance, less interest outstanding. We have bonded most of our debt, so it's on a fixed schedule, much more predictable than fluid interest rates with short-term notes. And the other component of debt is not having debt and fully paying for projects. One mechanism to do that is the capital improvement fund. We are adding 200,000 to that pot, so we'll have 350,000 to work with. There's some other sources we can tap into, so it's actually more like 500,000 to fully pay for projects or have down payments for debt items that we cannot fully pay for. You'll see a trend of this balance has been relatively higher the past 4 or 5 years, and it dropped last year. We added some significant capital approvals the past couple of years, notably with our fire truck, playing catch up on having 3 approved fire trucks, I believe, in a short span. And now they're coming to end of life and need to be replaced within a short span. So adding on multi-million-dollar fire trucks obviously has an impact to our capital expenses. So always trying to have less debt and pay more cash on hand. So how do we pay for all of those expenses? You'll see on the left, just over 60% of our revenues come from taxes. That's all of our residents love coming into the window and paying taxes. It's nice to see familiar faces regularly, but I'm sure they don't like to see me. So we try to keep this tax portion stable. That can be done by either lowering expenses or increasing revenues that are not taxes. So some things that we've done over the past 5 years that made significant impact. I will say court revenues and having a better court agreement with as a shared service have increased. We approved a cannabis dispensary and there's a cannabis tax that's nearly $200,000 in this budget. There's a pilot agreement with Avalon Bay of north of $1 million, which is quite significant. And, you know, as people do improvement projects in town, construction fees are also a pretty regularly large revenue. This is something that is actionable as a council member, coming up with ideas for different revenues, looking for new sources, and especially working with other towns to collaborate for shared services. If we can have a reduced shared cost, you know, it helps both parties to provide the service. So we have, you know, 60-40 for tax and non-tax. The top line on this chart, fund balance, is up $400,000. This is sort of our end of the day net pot of money as our total results of what we didn't spend and what we brought in over what we expected. We've built up reserves over the past so many years for years like this, where we've had many large increases out of our control. We need a way to still provide a reasonable tax increase to residents, and tapping into that fund a little more than usual has given us a, you know, stable tax increase similar to years past.
I think it's important to just note that even with this additional 400,000, our fund balance is still very much in it's, you know, beyond sort of the level that it needs to be considered healthy.
Right. You want to maintain a good fund balance for credit rating sake, for future year stability sake. And we always consider that when we look into how much we use. We are very cognizant of the 5 and 10 year future when planning these budgets. Upon review with our auditors, they reviewed our budget and said, wow, I can't believe you guys came in at, you know, 2% here, which is a spoiler. But many towns are in a very difficult position with all these large increases and don't have this reserve to be able to tap into and provide a stable increase. So I think we've done a stellar job in these conditions. Next slide. So our proposed annual taxes with this budget, the highlighted portion for our municipal taxes is a $64 increase on the average, or just under 2%. This 2% or just below target has been a target since I've been here for, we'll say, fifth budget or fourth or fifth budget now. One thing to note is with the tax reassessments, all the assessed values will change. You'll see the average assessed value is $362,000. That roughly equates to I want to say like $550,000 market value home, right? So $64 is your increase for the municipal side. As the assessments change townwide, it really shouldn't adjust the distribution significantly. So that assessed value may be different, the rate may be different, but as you multiply it out, the net tax bill will be relatively similar.
And just knowing that $64 on the average household is annual.
That is an annual increase. Yes.
It's not quarterly.
Right. The library number is $14 annually. That's up almost 8%. The school number I don't have. It's averaged out 3 to 3.5%. I don't know if there's a Board of Ed liaison that has some input on that side of things, but I reached out to the school, but they're closed for this week, so I haven't heard back. I would presume it's in the similar range. Still working on it. Okay, thank you. And then the county, I marked it as an estimate, but I believe that's going to be the actual increase, about 3.5%. They approved their budget, I want to say last month. They don't use the assessed value system, so it's a bit difficult for someone to read into and figure out what the increase will be ahead of time, but it will be roughly 3.5%. Okay. Where does your tax dollar go? I like to hit on this. No offense to any of the other entities, but They each provide us a budget tax number, and we're tasked with collecting that money. We pay them the entirety of what they ask for, and if people don't pay, us as the town takes the hit, right? So roughly 2/3 of your tax dollars go to the school. A quarter comes to us with the town and pays for the infrastructure and services outside of the school. And then the county is roughly 10% of your tax dollars, which mostly hits on county parks and county roads, which you would experience in town and throughout the county. Okay. And then a rate comparison. So on the left, you'll see a bar chart comparing 2016 to 2025. In the dark blue, that's the municipal portion of our tax rate. The blue portion in the middle is for the county, and the gray on the right is the school portion. So this just highlights a past 10-year look at how we've done with managing our budget and tax increases. We've averaged out to 2% per year. The county averaged out to 4% a year, and the school has averaged to 3.2% per year. So that's where, when we're always thinking of the future and planning ahead, this is the results of that, right? We do as best as we can there. Okay, so that's the short of it, believe it or not. But again, any questions, you can contact me directly. Happy to talk offline with anyone that wants to learn a little more. These documents will be available on our website, as well as this presentation. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know, any questions for Mr. Yazdi about the budget presentation? Okay. This will be up next couple days on the website.
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, this will be up. I really would encourage everybody to read through. I think there's a lot of good data in there about what is in our control and what is not in our control, and also what we've done. So thank you. And thank you for your work on this.
Yep. Mike, what's that percentage again that's in municipal control? 13?
Almost 14%.
Yeah.
But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, it's 13.9% of 26%. Because the
Of
municipal.
your tax dollar, right?
So a municipal of every dollar that we pay in our taxes, 26 cents, call it, is what goes to the municipal portion. And then of that 26 cents, 13.9%. I'm not gonna try and do that math, but 13.9%.
Right, like 3 cents.
3 cents
Of
is,
a dollar, we can really
Right.
control.
that's why I'm
right?
the CFO, because you could do that math.
Right.
So I just want to, I think it's important to illustrate that.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you, Mike, Mr. Henry, obviously Mayor Lynch, council members, me and Bale. There's a lot of work that's gone into this, and thank you. So May 4th is the budget adoption, and all of this will be on the website. Please reach out with any questions.
Yes. I will say one more thing. There is a ordinance being proposed for introduction tonight, nicknamed the COLA ordinance. There's a cap law within this budget that only lets us increase expenses in the bulk category of the budget by 2%. We ask you to approve this ordinance to increase that allowable increase from 2% to 3.5%. Okay, we need it this year, but anything that we don't use of that full 3%, we can bank for a future year. It's not banking actual dollars. It's banking the ability to increase in future years.
And that's ordinance 7-26.
7-26, yes.
And
Okay.
as part of the consent agenda will be one of the resolutions on the consent agenda is the introduction of the budget.
Okay,
Outstanding job.
thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for.
All right. All right, moving from there into the consent agenda, resolutions 2698 through 26107. Can I get a motion to open this up for discussion?
Seconded Cascone.
Any discussion on the consent agenda?
Being personally acquainted with Al Curry, I just want to say he's an excellent addition to the Boonton Fire Department, in particular South Boonton. So love to have him, and congratulations.
Thank you. Any other comments on the consent agenda? Okay, can I ask for a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So move me and.
And I will ask the clerk to take a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Balin,
Yes.
Ms. Casconi,
Yes.
Ms. Divanazia,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Maisy,
Yes.
Mr. Meehan.
Yes.
Mr. Weissman.
Yes.
Mr. Wakilsky.
Yes.
and Mayor Lynch is absent.
Okay. Moving into unfinished business, ordinance 5-26. This is an ordinance we introduced at our last meeting. A bond ordinance provide for the improvement of the water supply and distribution system in and by the town of Boonton in the county of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $990,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $900,000 bonds or notes of the town for financing such appropriation. And I will ask for a motion to open up a public hearing on this ordinance.
So moved. Stevenizia.
And a second.
Seconded Casconi.
So we are now open to the public for any comments related to this ordinance specifically. Any comments about any other agenda items, we'll wait to the end of the meeting. But are there any public comment on this ordinance? Seeing none, I will close public comment and ask for a motion to open up the subject for town council discussion.
So moved Casconi.
In a second. And now we're open for town council discussion. There is any? Okay, and this was vetted through the finance committee as well, so you all know.
Yeah.
Seeing none, I will,
The only comment I would have is just to put it into the record, that it's published. Sorry, is that the purpose of these bonds is to upgrade the Wellfield water treatment plant. Which is adjustments that are long overdue and repairs that are long overdue.
this is the first step to get ahead of it, so. I will ask for a motion to move ordinance 526 forward.
So moved, Stevenizia.
Seconded Casconi.
Okay, and ask the clerk to please take a roll call vote on this.
Mr. Balin.
Yes.
Ms. Casconi,
Yes.
Ms. Divanazia,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Maisy.
Yes.
Mr. Meehan.
Yes.
Mr. Weissman.
Yes.
Mr. Wakilsky.
Yes.
Mayor Lynch is absent.
Okay, moving into new business, ordinance 6-26, introduction title only. So reminder, this is just for the introduction. We'll have a public hearing on these ordinances at our next meeting. In ordinance 626, an ordinance amending the revised general ordinances of the town of Boonton, providing for the licensing and regulation of massage, bodywork, and somatic, hopefully I said that right, therapy establishments. Can I get a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved, maybe.
In a second,
Seconded Casconi.
and I'll ask the clerk to take a roll call, please.
Mr. Balin,
Yes.
Ms. Casconi.
Yes.
Ms. Divanazia.
Yes.
Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Maisy.
Yes.
Mr. Meehan.
Yes.
Mr. Weissman.
Yes.
Mr. Wakilsky.
Yes.
Mayor Lynch is absent.
Okay. Ordinance 7-26, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank, what Mr. Yasi was just referring to. Can I get a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved Casconi.
In a second?
Wojciechowski.
Okay. And I'll ask the clerk to please take a roll call.
Mr. Balin.
Yes.
Ms. Casconi.
Yes.
Ms. Divanazia.
Yes.
Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Maisy.
Yes.
Mr. Meehan.
Yes.
Mr. Weissman.
Yes.
Mr. Wakilsky.
Yes.
Mayor Lynch is absent.
Okay. Ordinance 8-26, an ordinance amending a section within the Town Code of Boonton, Article 18, General Provisions, Chapter 300, Zoning and Land Use, Section 371.1, Construction Permits and Construction Plans Required. And can I get a motion to introduce this ordinance, please?
So moved.
Go ahead, Danielle.
So moved Casconi.
Second, Stevenizia.
Okay, and I'll ask the clerk to take yet another roll call vote, please.
Mr. Balin.
Yes.
Ms. Casconi.
Yes.
Ms. Divanazia.
Yes.
Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Maisy.
Yes.
Mr. Meehan.
Yes.
Mr. Weissman.
Yes.
Mr. Wakilsky.
Yes.
Mayor Lynch is absent.
All right, it's such fun. Let's do one more. Ordinance 9-26, an ordinance amending the Town Code of Boonton to update the water and sewer construction fees based on equivalent dwelling units. Can I get a motion to open this, motion for introduction of this one?
So moved Wojciechowski.
Seconded Casconi.
I think I would have gotten it right after I'd done it so many times. Can I get the clerk to take a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Balin.
Yes.
Ms. Casconi.
Yes.
Ms. Divanazia.
Yes.
Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Maisy.
Yes.
Mr. Meehan.
Yes.
Mr. Weissman.
Yes.
Mr. Wakilsky.
Yes.
Mayor Lynch is absent.
Okay. Thank you all. And again, all of these ordinances will be available on our website.
Yeah.
And we'll have public hearing at our next council meeting on Monday, April 20th, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, okay. We are now up to town council member, administrator, and town attorney comments. Just one for me, and I'll open it up, which is to announce two things. Number one, there is a special election going on. Election day is Thursday, April 16th. Early voting, I think, is now open. And if you have a vote by mail ballot, the ballot drop box here in Boonton has been relocated to the back of Town Hall by the parking lot. So if you have your mail-in ballot, you want to return it to the back of Town Hall to the ballot drop box. And the second is that legal notices are now on our legal notices webpage on the town's website rather than a newspaper. So for all of you avid legal notice followers, it's on our website, not in the newspapers moving forward. With that, I will open up to any other council member for comments.
I do have one comment.
Yep.
So on March 20th, the flag committee met and there was a vote 3-1 in favor of the pride flag being added to the current amendment, which is 8-24. That's the flag amendment resulted. The committee majority has submitted the request to the town administrator to submit the paperwork to the town attorneys to be able to add that amendment to the current ordinance 8-24 for final review.
Great, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you to the committee for your work, and we'll now move that forward. I guess over there.
Sure. I did have, I'll stick for a minute, put my mic on. I did review the, I guess they call it the elaboration. It's like a couple pages. I do have some questions, but I think what my recommendation would be is to prepare a very short legal memo that will allow everybody to understand the guidance from our office, and then we can go from there.
Okay. Yeah, and the committee met and approved 3-1 of moving forward with this. So
Right.
that'd be great.
Yeah, I just want to, first of all, thank the council members who attended that committee. I thought it was a robust and discussion. Appreciated it. And then also, yes, just make sure that we're, the next step is a review, legal review, proposed language of the amendment, correct? The council or committee will have the opportunity to review that. What will be the next step?
I could make the memorandum addressed to the administrator, and then at his discretion, he would share it with council so that you guys could have, the benefit of the guidance. And then you come back with your recommendations as to how to proceed.
Thank you.
Can other groups submit the same?
We're going to hold off on discussion of the ordinance because we don't have one in front of us yet for review. Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other council member comments?
I'll add one after the budget review, and that comment about how little is actually in your elected local representatives' control and with regard to your annual tax increase. Just a reminder that that the $64 or $390 proposed annually, we're not. The fact that that is not a serious impact on some households is not lost on the finance committee or members of the council. We want to hear from you about the budget approval process, the proposed increases. And I personally would encourage you also to contact your county commissioners and state representatives, as they're really the state regulatory process and it contributes a lot to those increases.
Thank you. Other council member comments? Okay, I think we have a town cleanup as well.
I was just gonna say.
Okay, great. I will open the meeting to the public for public comment. As a reminder, public comment is limited to 3 minutes in duration. And I will invite anyone interested in public comment to make their way to the microphone.
I bet.
Well, hello there.
Well, hello, how you doing?
How are you?
One thing, Mr. Henry, I wish they declined your resignation and keep you forever. Good luck.
Thank you.
You want to say that? I'm gonna plant the seed. Just listening to this nice budget. And I hear a couple years ago, we had people coming asking about pilot programs. And you brought up about the pilot program for Avalon. If you look at the taxes, we get about just a little bit over $1 million. If we didn't have a pilot program, we get close to $2 million in taxes. So if people coming here for a pilot program, we're actually gonna give away tax money that goes to the schools. We're looking at it 6%. I understand you guys did a great job only making it 2%. But everybody's looking at a 6% increase, and having that extra money may not be a 6% increase, maybe only be a 1.5% increase for the future. Just planting a seed for somebody comes up, so we have a couple projects coming up in the near future. And thank you so much. And, oh yeah, by the way, we'll see you on the town cleanup.
Thank you for your comments. Any other public comment? Okay, was there any email correspondence? Okay. In the tradition of the mayor, I'll just respond briefly and then we'll end the meeting, which is I would think it's complicated because it depends what you look at for tax dollars, municipal tax dollars versus total money for the town, which includes school. So I would just encourage you to take a look at the details of what you're saying. Because I think that everything, I think the claim you're making isn't exactly accurate, but I appreciate the comment. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Second,
Steve Anesia.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And I look forward to Mayor Lynch being back.
Just in time,